everybody, Pandi here. Hello, Pandi here of Pandi's Hair Candy and More. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, you already know what it is. Kick back and relax. We are going to go ahead and enjoy this ride. Tonight, I'm going to be coming to you guys just giving you a review and commentary on one of the shows that I enjoy watching and reviewing. It is going to be Cherish the Day. We're in season 1, episode 5, and it's titled Analysis. Now, over here, for the most part, my channel consists of wigs, natural hair care, my natural hair care journey. I'm a newly transitioned naturalista. I also do TV show reviews. I do a little bit of celebrity news and entertainment recaps. I play games over here. I do a lot of like trivia nights and fun things, hence the name Pandi's Hair Candy and More. So pretty much over here, you're going to be getting me, and more me. In my own way, giving my own perspective here on my platform. So again, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop by. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. Again, we're going to be discussing Cherish the Day. It is currently one of the newer trending TV shows on the Oprah Winfrey Network, better known as OWN. The show is produced and written by Ava DuVernay. And it's set in Southern California. It's about a younger urban couple who have recently met, and their relationship is kind of progressing fairly rapidly. And it's basically a story about young love. So again, we're on season 1, episode 5, and the title is Analysis. Now, so the episode basically begins with us seeing Evan and Gently in his family church. They're pretty much having like a dress rehearsal. Not actually a dress rehearsal, I'm sorry. They appear to be having premarital counseling is what they're doing. They are definitely in a better place considering the previous episode. They're in there doing their premarital counseling with the pastor. And after that, they leave from the family church. As they're walking out, they're just kind of making their final arrangements for the day. They plan to meet back up. I guess they've got a full day planned. They're going to be like doing their bridal and tux fittings that day. They're going to be sampling the cake. They got all these things that they're doing. And they also mentioned that they're cramming everything into this one day because the wedding is coming up. It's approaching in the next month. So we see them doing that, and they basically go their separate ways from the church. Her homegirl pulls up to pick her up, and they make arrangements, telling each other they're going to meet up later that afternoon so they can get all that other stuff done. Okay? So her girlfriend rolls up to pick her up, and they head back to Gently's crib to kind of get her all packed and everything, because I think she's going to be like moving in with him. Next, we see Gently and Pops meeting up at the reception venue. It looks pretty, it was okay, but it was kind of basic, and we know that Evan's mother, Marilyn, tends to be more on the bougie side. Like, she wants everything to be of a certain level of class. So whereas to us it looked fine, to her it may not have met the criteria. But nevertheless, we see Gently and Pops at this venue. They're planning, and then in walks Evan and his mother. She's still on her stank mode. She's, barely interacting with Gently. She's barely embracing her as they go to hug. And it's just this kind of like unique exchange and interaction between them two. And also, it's Pops and Marilyn's first time meeting up, and it's a bit awkward, but they appear to both be on their best behavior. Now, at that moment, in walks the band that Pops booked. Of course, he selected them. The name of the band is Earth, Funk, and Fire. They're there to basically give a sample or a demo of their work. So the four of them go and they sit down to hear the band play to see what type of selections they're going to have. And the band was not good. They were fairly cheesy. The music was outdated, and these brothers was kind of old for what they were looking for. And it wasn't even like wedding music. It was weird, but it was funny. So Marilyn was clearly not here for it. She overhears Evan tell Gently that, if you like them, I love them. And Marilyn then stands up and asks, where is our next appointment? So they then say that they're going to a family friend's house. They meet up at this lady, Miss Jacqueline's house. They're sampling cakes. So this is a family friend, an older woman. She's cooking the cakes. Marilyn is still acting bougie, and she's still trying to tell Miss Jacqueline that although her cakes are delicious, they'll get back to her. Well, immediately, Miss Jacqueline is like, what do you mean you'll get back to me? You'll let me know. Honey, I played bridge with that baby's grandmother. That's family. Um, and then Pops chimes in and tells her, this is not a debate. This is a decision. So basically, they're trying to let Marilyn know, like, look, we already got this. Miss Jacqueline is making the cake. We ain't worried about all this fancy stuff you're talking about. So Evan tells Gently, Pops, and Miss Jacqueline that he and his mother need to go and handle some stuff for one of his aunties or check on one of their family members. And they plan to meet back up with them later. As they leave, Pops talks to Gently briefly there at the table and tells her he was waiting for Marilyn to pop off. He pretty much knew it was coming and that he actually thought it would have been worse. Gently says she actually feels sorry for her. She feels bad for her, and Pop tells her, "Well, you shouldn't, because Gently, you got to understand that these are very different people. They're different from us, and you definitely need to keep your guard up and your eyes open going into this." Gently tries to reassure Pops that everything will be fine and that she doesn't judge where Evan comes from and he doesn't judge where she comes from. Pops is receiving what she's saying, but he still advises her to keep her guard up. Next, we see Pops and Gently at some sort of a formal dance lesson. So it looks like they're in there like trying to learn to waltz or some sort of formal dancing. And then we see Marilyn and Evan arrive at this fancy pastry shop. Now they go inside, they sit down to go sample the cakes. And Evan is like, so much for Auntie so and so. Like basically, she told him that's where they were going, but they ended up at this cake shop. Even though he knows Gently wanted to have Miss Jacqueline's cake for her wedding. So he's already looking visibly uncomfortable because his mom is basically trying to take over the whole planning process. You know what I'm saying? And Gently already knows what she wants. She wants something simple and quaint. She's not here for all the foo-foo. She just wants something small. By this time, Marilyn is fed up. She tells him that he can drop the act. She knows him. And then she asks him straight up, you're not seriously considering serving house cake at some rundown banquet hall in the hood out of a stove that probably hasn't been cleaned in God knows how long, are you? Next, we then see Pops and Gently at the tux and bridal shop. Evan's pops was standing outside, and they, introduced each other. Well, they were introduced to each other by Gently, her pops and Evan's pops, and they immediately hit it off. Turns out Evan's father grew up in the same neighborhood that Pops and him is from. I guess he just took a different path with his life. So they kind of hit it off. And once inside the bridal shop, Evan's sister, Alina, and her daughter are in there trying on gowns. Well, Alina's trying on a gown, who's Evan's sister. Her daughter's just kind of standing there, but I noticed that her hair is shaven from the last couple of episodes, and she looks different. Um, so she's trying on the dress. They're kind of bonding and talking, and she tells the clerk that she loves it. She's going to take it. And then she asks the clerk to take her and her daughter over to the other side so that she can get her daughter fitted for her tux. So it then made sense to me. So obviously the daughter is, I don't know if maybe she's gay or lesbian, whatever the case, but I thought it was really nice that they were honoring the fact and allowing her to walk in her truth, and they were going to even allow her to, be in a tux versus a gown when that probably would have had her real uncomfortable. So that was an interesting scene. Then we see Evan and his dad, Pops, and all Gently's uncles over on the other side as well, getting fitted. They were bonding with one another. And then they, at the end of their fitting, they broke out with the white RIP white t-shirts with the picture of Gently's biological pops on it. They said that they were planning to wear those under their tuxes. And then they hand one to Evan's pops. Now he kind of looks at it like, okay, I know Marilyn ain't going for this. Us walking down the aisle with no t-shirts on underneath our tux. But he doesn't say anything. He just takes it. And they explain to him what it is, and he's like, okay, cool, much respect. Next we see Marilyn, who again is Evan's mother, show up at the bridal shop late. She's the last one to get there, and she asks Gently if she's already been fitted for her gown. When Gently shares with her that she's having her wedding gown made by this lady at the cleaners who sews on the side, Marilyn tries to convince her that she needs to choose one of the expensive gowns there in the bridal shop. And she said, she gave her this story about how every mother dreams of the day that they can watch or see their daughter come down the aisle in a beautiful wedding gown. And Gently goes into this sad kind of mode, and she says, my mother isn't going to be coming. So in that moment, Marilyn learns that Gently and her mother really don't have a good relationship. She learns that she's not going to be in attendance. And I think she just never knew that about her. She never took the time to get to know Gently like that. So Marilyn realizes that, she's basically, I think she comes to the realization that Gently is kind of broken. You know what I mean? And she sits down beside her. She moves in a little closer, and she tells her that, she realizes that things didn't start off well for them, and she apologizes to her for that. But she also shares with her that, basically she was like, Gently, can you kind of understand my point of view? I've always had this vision for my son that he would meet the type of girl that was more like me, and you're just so much more different. However, I think we just got off on the wrong foot, and I really apologize for that, and I want to kind of start over with you. So Gently says, I love him, and I hope that matters to you. And Marilyn is like, yes, it does matter to me. In fact, it's the only thing that should matter, and I just want you to know that I am working on that. I'm working on receiving you and your viewpoint and your differences. So that was a good moment. Now, at the end of their little brief chat, Marilyn convinces Gently to go ahead and try on some of the wedding gowns from the bridal shop. Just have a little fun. So Gently goes back, and she steps out in this beautiful white wedding gown. And Alina and Marilyn and the daughter, they're all just oohing and ahhing, telling her how beautiful she looks. And she's like, Yeah, but I can't afford this. And the associate then shares, it's okay. Your fiance already left a credit card on file. And she was like in shock. Now, Marilyn was already offering to pay for it. And that's when the clerk said, oh, no, it's not a problem. Her fiance already left a card on file. And she's like, oh, he did. So, of course, this upset gently. She leaves the fitting room, goes over to the other side, grabs Evan, and picks a fight with him. She tells him that she feels disrespected and that she doesn't really feel like she can trust his mother, and she doesn't really feel like she can trust him if they're planning and plotting things behind her back like this. They argue for a moment, then they kind of calm down, they talk, and they make up. And he tells her, you know what? It's not even about all that. He doesn't care about any of that. Let's just leave and go get married right now. Gently and Evan apologize to their families. They pose for pictures since everybody's all dressed up. They're at the bridal shop. They pose for pictures, and the two of them literally leave the bridal shop and they go find this like storefront pop up chapel. And the two of them get married, just the two of them. So that is where the episode ends, guys. So, like I said in all of my previous reviews, this storyline is progressing quite quickly. I am thoroughly enjoying the show. It is a show about love, young love, with two younger people who come from two different backgrounds. And it is showing the different aspects of the family members, how, she has the father who's deceased, the former gangbanger uncles that are raised, that have raised her from a young girl to a young lady. And then here he is, this Ivy League, kind of like entitled, silver spoon handed to him all his life. And they've come together as opposites, attracted, and they genuinely care for and love one another. So it's going to be interesting to see the twists and turns that this story takes. I hope you guys are watching and enjoying these reviews, and I hope you're watching the show. If you have been watching the show, I'd love to hear your feedback and your perspective. Let me know if I missed anything or if I left anything out. And if you are enjoying the commentary, please smash the like button for your girl. I would greatly appreciate it. It's free 99. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me greatly with my analytics. So again, I'm Pandi of Pandi's Hair Candy and More. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!